It's just like, videos are so hard. There was some good deck profile videos I could have done. I need to get money. Hand traps cost money. And I need hand traps for my decks. It's just it's a never-ending cycle, it really is. Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're talking about, after Extreme Force, will Pen Magicians be the best deck of the format? Before we get to talking about this card and its impact on Pen Magicians, let's talk about the other cards and the other decks that are going to be out there that are going to be fairly strong. The first one I want to talk about is Altergeist. Altergeist is a deck that I think is kind of lingering between Tier 3 and Tier 2, and this is a card, Altergeist Hexia, which is actually pretty strong. It gains attack equal to the combined attack the Altergeist monsters this card points to. It only points down and to the right, so it's not possible for this card to gain attack based off of 2 Altergeist monsters, but there are Altergeist monsters with around 1500 attacks. This thing's going to be above 2500 attack most of the time. When a spell, trap card, or effect is activated, you could tribute 1 Altergeist monster this card points to, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. Now, I'm pretty sure that this or effect doesn't mean like monster effects, so you can only negate spells and traps, what this is saying, but that's still really, really strong. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Altergeist card from your deck to your hand. So the search ability is really strong. I'm pretty sure the entire archetype has that clause at the end of it, but I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that. And so just, an inherent spell and trap negation for an archetype with a Link 2 monster. It's really not that hard to get Link 2s and Altergeist. It's really not that hard to make this card. So I think Altergeist is going to be a deck that people are going to have to watch out for. The next card I want to talk about, not really card, but really Jax Knight, or I believe they're going to be called Mech Knights in the TCG. This is going to be the secret rare. It's probably going to be their most expensive card. This says, while there are no other cards in this column, it can attack directly. If this card is in the extra monster zone, does not point to a monster, which is highly unlikely, but it is possible. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent can't target it, so it's a magic specter essentially with that. You can say one of the cards you control in this card's column to the graveyard, special summon a Mech Knight from your deck at defense positions. I looked at all the cards in Extreme Force, and I looked at some of the new archetypes, and this Jax Knight, or Mech Knights, whatever they're going to be called, that looks like a very strong deck. I want to talk about a little bit about the OCG deck list now. Ban list is a bit different, but it is a very, I mean, if you look at, like, Max C, I mean, they have 3 Max C, but Max C, Alka, like, this deck, we could run a very, very similar version of this deck in the TCG. So we take a look at some of these, not as many Pen Magicians. We're seeing a lot of TG decks because remember, they got the V-Rains Link Pack, so the Christian Link Monster Needle Fiber, that is already in the OCG, so that's something that's probably why we're seeing a lot of TGs out there. So that's something to keep in mind. Like I said, we're not going to have the same meta the OCG has. We haven't had the same meta the OCG has in a long time, but it's going to be a similar meta, to say the very least. And the next card I want to talk about is this Doolittle Chimera. Keep in mind what Heavy Metaphors Electrum Knight was made for. It was made for Metaphors. And so now Metaphors are not only getting Heavy Metaphors Electrum Knight, but they're also getting Doolittle Chimera. And Doolittle Chimera is another card they can go into, even though Electrum Knight and Doolittle Chimera point to the exact same spots. The thing is about Doolittle Chimera and Heavy Metaphors Electrum, he doesn't have any effects based on the arrows he points to. So you could definitely see a Doolittle Chimera summoning and then a Heavy Metaphors Electrum Knight summoning on top of that. And then we get to this card. Let's read what it does for a second for those who've forgotten. If this card is linked summon, you can add a Pendulum Monster from your deck to your face-up extra deck. Once per turn, you can target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, then add 1 face-up Pendulum Monster from your extra deck to your hand. If a card in your Pendulum Zone leaves the field, draw 1 card. But Pendulum Magicians, in my opinion, was a good Link monster, because a lot of times I really wanted, when I'm running the deck, I wanted to summon 2 rank 4s, or maybe a Synchro 8 with a rank 4. My thing with this card is Pen Magicians have a really difficult time getting over Spiral Sleeper. You do so many strong things. It does literally so many good things for this deck, on top of being a perfect Link monster for Pendulum Magicians and Metaphors, really. But what it doesn't do, what it's lacking, is it's lacking a lot of attack, and it's lacking a way of getting over Spiral Sleeper. If Pen Magicians can't figure out an easy archetype-specific way, I'm not saying drop a Kaiju on it, you can Kaiju in any deck. I'm talking about an archetype-specific way to get over Sleeper. I don't foresee Pen Magicians being the best deck of the format. As I always say, though, my opinion is just my opinion, so let me know what you guys think. Do you think Heavy Metaphors Electrum Knight makes Pen Magicians the best deck of the format? Click that like button if you liked this video. If you didn't, make sure you let me know why down in the comment section below. Click that subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. But most importantly, guys, have a good day.
Put you in my club. What's up? Let's take a trip. Have you ever